But and the great thing about mindfulness is there's nothing spooky about it. You don't have to develop any kind of affection for Buddhism or beliefs in the supernatural or a notion of karma. I mean, nothing is all it is, and there's nothing. There's no thing that you're strategically adding to your experience by way of meditating. So you don't have a mantra, and there's nothing to explain. All you have to do is pay extremely close attention to whatever is arising of its own. And you start with the breath because the breath is always there, and it's just an easy thing to pay attention to. But very quickly, it becomes you're just noticing sights and sounds and sensations and moods and thoughts, and it makes perfect sense because if you want to know what it's like to be you, if you want to have a very clear look at the nature of your own consciousness, it just makes sense to pay attention. And all you're doing is paying attention. And there's no conceptual overlay that you're applying that's monkeying with your experience to try to change it. So the goal in that case isn't even, you're not even trying to have a better experience, although you can covertly hope to have a better experience and sort of corrupt the process that way. But you're really just trying to witness exactly what the character of your experience is in each moment. So you're just noticing unpleasant experience without pushing it away, and noticing pleasant experience without trying to grab at it. And it just so happens that once you develop that kind of dispassionate attention to experience, then certain very pleasant experiences start to come along, because so much of what's unpleasant about our minds is our resistance to pain and our grasping at pleasure and our struggle with experience. So just paying attention, really just openly and without any agenda, that for the period of time you can do that, you really have surrendered the struggle. And that a tremendous relief just comes with that process. And so it's becoming something that they are teaching in schools at various ages. And it's I think the one downside to the way mindfulness is being marketed at this point is that it's really being thought of as almost an esoteric version of an executive stress ball, where it's a tool to optimize performance, and it's the kind of thing that a CEO wants to have in his toolkit, and all that's true. It is a tool to optimize performance, but it's much more like, and it's traditionally intended to be much more like the Large Hadron Collider, which is to say a real tool for discovering something fundamental, in this case about the nature of the mind. And the purpose of mindfulness is to discover that this self we think we have is an illusion, and that the real breakthrough is not just a little less stress or a little more concentration or an ability to direct your mind where you want it to go. So if you want to stay on a diet but you're tempted by the chocolate chip cookie, you can just get back on your diet without eating the cookie. I mean, that's one way in which you could use mindfulness, but that's not really the center of the bullseye. The center of the bullseye is to cut through this illusion that we're all riding around in our heads as a ghost in the machine.